Okay, so before starting our repair, we'll go through the process step by step so you can get an idea of each phase and the types of tools that you might want to use, at least some of the options that are available. We want to prepare the material first. Obviously, open up any cracks, get rid of any dead wood, rot, anything that's soft or moist. I like to use die grinders. They're the most flexible, and you can really hold them almost like a pencil to get into tight spots. They're very maneuverable. There's no base in the way, so you can see your work very clearly. You just have to be careful because this tip is spinning, obviously, in the sharp point, so you don't want to get your hands too close. There's definitely a safety issue, so you have to know what you're doing and kind of develop a feel for how this blade spins, because it cuts in one direction more than another, so it'll want to pull a certain way, so you don't want it to skip out of your hands and get ahead of you. This one here has a straight fluted bit, looks like 3/16. There's just a couple different ones we've got here. Of course, there's an endless amount of shapes and sizes that you could use. We've got a V-groove bit. Depends on the access to the area that you're trying to get to and how much material you want to remove. This one here has a round tip, which works great if you're just making one pass. You could probably finish it in one smooth motion. If you're working in really small, tight spots, something like the Dremel with even jewelry grinders can do very fine work if you're not having to remove a lot of material. A small cabinet router like this is great for duplicating shapes. If you want to do straight lines, or if you just want a little more stability, because you can let the tool rest on its base and grab with both hands. So there's a little more control over this than you would have with these, because the tool is actually resting on the material. So that's phase one, preparing. You can use any type of tool, like I said. After you do the grinding, you probably want to sand a little bit. Some of the fibers tend to fray off the edge of the cuts. You can either use a piece of sandpaper in hand, sanding block, or any of these type of tools as well. And these, of course, may be used actually before some of these, because you'll want to remove any paint as well. So you don't want to forget that part. Removing paint from the surrounding repair, because your feathered edge is going to want to adhere to the wood just as much as the actual bulk of the repair. We're going to demonstrate some of the techniques on this capital and how to remove some of the rotten wood, some of the tools that we're using, and some of the techniques to prepare this for the epoxy. Really, that's it for prepping the material. Some grinding, some sanding, and then you're ready for primatrate and then the flex tech.